Actually working. Go. Okay. So we're gonna come for number two. You know, I normally do a prep show before I do anything, but I'm not gonna do any filming tonight because I gotta work tomorrow, and my whole day has been taken from me. So been toying with stage names. You know, I'm really liking Echo Fang Grey Wolf, and that may be the name I have to change to because James Williams Jr. isn't getting any results. I'm gonna ask like all the people on TikTok if I should use a Native American name from now on as a stage name versus using my real name. Now let me explain this conflict as I brush all my hair to the back. No. See, the conflict there is really simple. Now, I have been billing myself as a mixed person for the last 21 years, and my acting career has failed. I'm beginning to wonder that if I go with a full Native American name, even if it's imaginary, would would that get more viewers? So I think if I get into the Spider-Man suit tomorrow and I introduce myself as Echo Fang Grey Wolf, I'm toying with names. I like Echo Fang Grey Wolf other than Fang Grey Wolf. But let me know what you guys think about that. You know, because like I said, I have not had success with James Williams Jr. I like Echo Fang Grey Wolf. It beats Cody Fang Grey Wolf. No. I want to try to keep it as Native American as possible. No. No, I am not denouncing my blackness. No, I am not denouncing my whiteness. But I want to talk about that. Alright. So it's time to get real now. Alright? Because my heritage is really important to me. All three of them. And I don't want to deny the other two despite the one, you know. But I may need to do that just to have some success in this business. Just to have someone give me a fucking look. Or a chance, you know, because that's like the one thing I'm not getting is a chance. So let me know what you guys think if I should change my name and go with a stage name versus you know, my real name. I mean, it's getting to the point now where I may have to. So I mean, Echo Fang rolls off the tongue a lot better than James Williams Jr. And I'm going to ask people on Instagram as well as ask people on my TikTok. Because the thing is, you know, I am part Native American. You can see it in my face. I couldn't tell you how much blood quantum I have. But, you know, that's a story for another day. But, you know, with everything that's been going on with Native TikTok and everything else, you know, I'm hurting, y'all. Because I haven't had any acting work. You know, like literally in the 21 years I've been in this business, outside of my own shit that you see on YouTube, Kung Fu Havoc #1, and outside of what I was working on during the pandemic, which I still haven't been able to edit, which I still honestly, it's my own fault. I haven't had the time, I haven't made the time to get in touch with the university to see what's going on. And then with COVID, there's no guarantee that they will even let me on university grounds, even though I'm fully vaccinated. So, damn, that's what I was supposed to do today too, and I didn't get to do that. That's fine. I'll try and see if I can talk to Brandon about it on Monday. But anyway, you know, there's a lot of names that I have because I have a lot of freaking stories that I wrote, you know, and I can start using those names because even though they're stories, I came up with them, so no one could like take the rights from me from taking them, you know. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, damn, you know, how do I get people to pay attention? Because clearly, James Williams Jr. is just like exceptionally plain. Like, it's my legal name, it's the name I was given at birth. It dies with me. Because I hope that if I live long enough to have children, then me and the woman that I am blessed to have children with go a different route. Because I'm a junior, and I will never live up to my father's name and all the other stuff. And no one should ever have to. So now let's get to the topic. The topic is um, Native American heritage and stuff. All right. So as you all know, my heritage, and if you don't know, you're about to learn. So I'm part black, part white, part Cherokee Indian. Or at least that's what we were told. And the reason why I said that is because when I looked up like the Cherokee stuff, all Cherokee have been in Oklahoma for quite some time. So I'm not sure if my great grandmother was Cherokee or Iroquois now on my dad's side. As far as my mother's side goes, um, being that she was adopted, this is one of those times where that's a question that only God can answer, you know. And I'm really in no hurry to go meet him right now to find out what the answer is. And I haven't done any rituals, you know. I haven't done any Native American rituals because I don't know what the fuck they are. But before I can do that, I like to know what the fuck I am. But yeah, you know, I follow a lot of Native TikToks, and I talk to mostly Native Americans. And you know, and they're like, well, you're still Native no matter how small the blood quantum is. I'm like, yeah, you want to tell that to the government because they may not see it that way. And again, let me tell you how I got on this journey, besides the fact that I've always known that I was Native since the 5th grade, because that's when I learned that I was part Native, the hard way. And you know, the thing with that, whoa, that's a hot chick, Jilly Kwong. Y'all should follow her. It has nothing to do with this video, but anyway, so she interrupted me when I pressed the button up here. So I went to the military hospital one day, and I had no desire to be there, but I went there for a voc rehab, you know, and then I had to go do something else. No, I went there to get a mole removed that we thought was cancerous right around here, and then I went to voc rehab, and then I came back because I had something else that I had to do while I was there. And when I got back to the main building, some gentleman who was part Native.
Hello there. In this video,
Sorry. Some gentleman who was part Native wouldn't stop looking at me. And while I'm waiting for my appointment, I'm drawing a picture of Deadpool or whatever. I think I might have sent that away. So I'm sitting there and I'm drawing. The guy wouldn't stop looking at me. Wouldn't stop looking at me. And you know that feeling you get when someone is like burning like they're just burning right through your soul. Okay, you might not know that because you might not have that extrasensory perception of knowing when you're being watched. I've always had this gift since I was a child. I just have been able to turn it off and on sometimes. Unlike my martial arts skills, which I can't cut off at all. So, I'm sitting there. I'm just drawing, and I'm like, this damn dude keeps staring at me. Why is he staring at me? And he looked black, you know. But he was half black, half Native American. He had Native American facial structure, just dark-ass skin. Where I have light-ass skin and possible Native American features. So, I'm sitting there and I'm drawing. And I look up at him, and he's watching me draw. I said, "You're pretty good." I said, "Yeah, thank you. I used to be better, because I used to be a much better drawer." Y'all see that thing right there. I used to be way better than that. I know you see them damn lights. Any freaking how. So, sorry, y'all. Any freaking how. So I'm sitting there, and he's like, "You part Native?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm part Cherokee." And he's like, "Well, do you have your Native American registration card?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, that's a thing? I was like, "No, I don't think I'm enough Native to have that." He said, "You look like you full-blooded Native." I said, "No, dude." I said, "No, I'm far from full-blood, dude." I was like, "Believe me," I said, "I'm probably on the lower end of the spectrum." He's like, "I don't think so." And I'm like, "I do think so, but okay." You know how you can't convince people when their mind is set on something. So we got to talking. He's a really good guy. So don't take whatever I just said the wrong way. He was a really, really nice guy. He says, "You know, you really ought to go and talk to the BIA. I'm like, "The fuck is the BIA?" It's like the Bureau of Indian Affairs. I'm like, I had never heard of it before that day. So he set me up with the number and all kinds of other stuff. And that's where shit went to hell. You know how you should just leave sleeping dogs alone? Or let me be a little bit better with my analogies. You know how you shouldn't poke a bear with a stick? This is like poking a really big bear with a really small stick. Alright? So, I called the BIA. And you know how there are choices did you make and choices you wish you never made? That's kind of one of them choices that you kind of wish you never made. I made the choice to call them, and I didn't get remotely close to what this guy was telling me. I was like, I'd been better off just leaving it alone because he found out I was in college. He's like, yo, if you are more than 50% Native American, you can get like your college done down to like less than. I'm like, well, you could have told me that way back in 1993. I could have finished college by now. But I didn't know. I didn't really care because I also found out that that shit's a myth. It depends on what the BIA says. Now here's where shit goes from 0 to 1,000 in 45 seconds. So I'm talking to the BIA, and they're telling me, here's what you need to do, son. You need to get a DNA test, and even if you have 50% Native American blood in you, you still have to be accepted by a tribe, preferably the tribe of your people. But if they don't accept you, you will not be considered Native American. And I'm like, well, now I'm back to square one. Because I'm like, I don't know where my people are. Because there is no Powell Heights reservation. And my great grandmother on my father's side came from Powell Heights. She was full-blooded Cherokee. She wasn't a Cherokee princess like everyone else claims, but she was a Cherokee. And I'm like, what in the actual fuck have I gotten myself into? So, I'm calling all these places. Can't get a DNA test. A gift was given to me from a friend from TikTok. It was a DNA test. The results are less becoming, and they're working on it because I talked to them and said, okay, so look, my great grandmother was Native American. You guys don't seem to have Native American on my chart. So what's going on here? And they're re-researching it. So what I'm going to do is also go get a second DNA kit from some damn body else, because it's not so much important that I get a DNA kit. It's more important that I don't lose the identity that I have. Because I know that my great grandmother was Native American. I didn't know that I was freaking remotely close to being Native American until I got into the 5th grade. Now, I just thought I was black and white, which was cool. And there's nothing wrong with that. Being mixed is great until you try to get a job, like in acting. So that wasn't working out for me, which is why I brought up the changing of the name, with the Echo Fan Grey Wolf thing. And so, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. So I was like, so what else do I need to do? It's like, you don't contact us back until you get a DNA test. It's like, okay. So that was like 3 or 4 years ago, and I hadn't gotten my DNA test until about 5 months ago. So they still haven't. They got like all this stuff, and then unfortunately, and fortunately for some people, that shit says that I'm mostly white. And I was like, what the fuck? It's like, that's not possible. But anything is possible. But I'm like, okay, so are you like tracking my DNA, or you tracking like down to the very last ancestor DNA? Because I don't need none of that. I just need to know how much Native American I am. That's it. I talked to that guy last week, or this week, because I'm like, yo, it's been like a long damn time, and my results still ain't finished. It has like 3% or 4% of unknown DNA. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is that shit? Excuse me, that's a mistake. It has 18% of unknown DNA. So I'm like, yo, what the hell's going on here? It has 31% black, 31% white, then it's like 5, 12, 1 of some other shit, and then there's the 18%. But it's listed as unknown. So I'm like, okay, look, y'all got to figure this shit out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna contact the info commercials that keep coming on these damn YouTube things. Where the hell is it? I'm gonna contact CRI, the Cellular Research Institute. I'm already with Ancestry, so I'm also gonna try 23andMe. Now, if all 3 of them give me different results, then I'm gonna be mad as shit. Alright? If all 3 of them give me the same results, I'm not gonna be that mad, because then it'll be closer to right than wrong. But like my teacher in my last class in which I failed, she said, those things are like 50-50. Because they could be money grabbers, just to grab your money and let you know what you think you are or what they think you are, and boom, bang, you're back to it's like square one. All right. So I'm like, I'm kind of worried that she might be right due to the fact that I know for a fact that my grandmother's mother was full-blooded Cherokee. Because not only did they tell me, but she told me, and she told me Native American stories and stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, granted, I only had it for like 12 years of my life, but only in the summertime. So, that's basically 6 years. And I'm like, okay. So, and looking at me, you can tell that I'm definitely mixed. But, it's a mixed bag when it comes to being mixed. And I'm like, okay. And then I think they said some shit about like Norse, Icelandic, like people like Bjork. I'm like, that's not possible. I said, that's not possible because if that's the Native American that I come from, then I'm in deep trouble because I suck with the cold weather. So I'm not Inuit. I'm not Inuit. So that's not like right at all. So they might want to retest that test. And tests can make mistakes. Tests can be made mistakes. Mistakes can be made on tests. Don't think for a New York minute. Excuse me. That a test can't make a mistake. Human could reload the damn thing wrong and something could have got in there and contaminated. It could have been anything. But so we wanted to bring that up because of the simple fact that there's a lot going on in the Native American culture. Native American communities are suffering right now. They are suffering due to the missing and murdered indigenous women and girls. They are suffering due to these damn pipelines, and they are suffering due to the murdered children, which is I'm sorry, the most important because thousands, among thousands of children have been killed. And then, also fucking, these water protectors are getting hurt and somebody's like doing laws to make it okay for you to shoot the water protectors now. And I'm like, you bastards. And then I just read something that came across my FYP about in the past it was legal for people to shoot and kill Native Americans for $5, and you could also kill them and take their land. And I'm like, God damn! If I've ever been more prouder to be Native American, now is that time because I'm like, you know what? This is fucked up. And sadly, I will say this as I close: we definitely need Coyote the Trickster to show up and do some damage. We need the Thunderbird. We need the Deer Woman. We need all the spirits of vengeance to show up at these pipelines and just rip some shit up without destroying the environment. That being said, you guys let me know what you think about Echo Fang Grey Wolf. Let me know if you have any other Native American names in line that matches with Grey Wolf, because my TikTok name is Grey Wolf, and I want to keep that. I actually did a character named Grey Wolf in one of my stories, so I want to make sure that I keep that. And it's not spelled like the normal Grey. It's spelled like Jean Grey's Grey. So, or like Earl Grey, or like Greystoke, the Legend of Tarzan. Anyway, that being said, thank you guys for watching. This is Comfort Forever number 2, BC, and I'm not going to do anything special tonight. I'm just going to carry my ass to bed because I am tired and I've had a really bad day. BC and you.